Hi friends, it's Anne here, and today's video is my monthly buys and buys video. So this is the video where I go through everything I bought in the last month, as well as everything that I said goodbye to, or my empties. I like to combine them into one video, just to kind of see the balance of what's coming in versus what's going out. I was mulling a lot about that last night for no particular reason, and just thinking about how I want to do this going forward. I'm going to continue this through like the rest of this calendar year. I'm going to switch it up a little bit for January, but we'll talk about that then, because I haven't fully solidified exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I think I know what I'm going to do, and it does relate to budgeting and how I'm going to plan for next year. I bought a lot in the month of September. I'm not going to go through everything because I actually did 2 videos on the stuff that I bought. So the ColourPop mystery box, all the stuff that I got in there. I did want to mention 2 things from that box though. Did want to mention this 4th Ray watermelon face milk. You can see I've been using this quite a fair amount. It's not bad. It's not moisturizing enough though for me, like as a moisturizer. I think if you had younger skin, I think if you were younger and if you had oily skin, those face milks actually could be quite nice because it could be just enough moisture that you could be satisfied with it. So the ingredients, I did want to look up the ingredients. It says it's formulated with watermelon seed oil, cucumber water, and aloe. I don't know how much of those ingredients are actually in this, like percentage wise. I do know I'm sensitive to aloe, so there can't be too much aloe in this, otherwise my face would be like bright red after using it. Yeah, I use this sort of like as a first step. I've actually kind of taken this out because I'm trying to finish up another little mini sample of a toner I have, but this is what I was using sort of as like a replacement for like a hydrating toner type step. It's not really like an equivalent, but it's similar enough in terms of what I use it for, in terms of having a little bit of hydration before I start doing the rest of my skincare. So I quite enjoy that. And I did just want to show this because it looks so weird. This is the body oil when it settles. It's so weird, like, because you never see photos of that. So I just wanted to show what it looks like. Normally you see it like this, right? So you see all the little shimmers. So yeah, so this I've used a couple times. I don't know if you can see it. I have used it a couple times. It is shimmerier than I thought it was, but not as shimmery as I expected it to be. But you do notice, like, when I was testing this out in the video, like in natural light, like indirect, you know, not sunlight, you couldn't really see shimmers on my skin as much as you thought you would have. But when I was like in the bathroom or like in my den, I have that lighting that like makes things look a little bit sparklier. Like, whoa, you can really see the sparkle. When I saw it settle like that, I was like, if I really wanted to, I could probably separate the oil from the shimmer. My only pet peeve with this is I can't get the pump to work. Like, the pump just does not work. And I'm just curious to know if anybody else has one of these products. Is the pump broken for you too, or is it just me? Like, maybe I need to rinse out the pump and see if I can get it to work better. But yeah, that was kind of annoying. So that was the ColourPop order. I can't remember if I said in the video how much I spent on that order, but put it down below, because I also got the Wild Nothing palette, the Tender Loving Cancer eyeshadow palette, and I had an add-on with a mascara. So as I mentioned, I got 2 of the Act Natural mascaras, so one of those is going in the giveaway. So I don't have one of those in my budget because it's not part of my beauty budget. I have bought a lot more since then. So I did buy that Sephora kit. So again, not going to go through the details of that Sephora kit. Did a whole video on it. Did a whole video on how much I spent on it. But let's talk about some other things. Actually, I don't have the one thing here. I bought an eyelash curler for home. So one of the things I hate traveling with is an eyelash curler. I do have like a little travel one, but I really don't like it. It's like, it's what I take if I really am traveling, and it's like, okay, I don't want to carry a full-on eyelash curler. But I did buy an eyelash curler from Quo. It's a $4 eyelash curler. It feels like a $4 eyelash curler. It's okay. It'll do for being at home. I also bought this Marc Jacobs fine liner. So I bought this for $8.99 at Winners. Did I need this? No. Was I curious about it? Sure. I had another one of these. I don't know where it is. but it's very black. It's very fine. It's you can't twist it up, so if you twist it up, you can't twist it back down again. I shouldn't say you can't twist it up. You can twist it up, but if you twist it up, you can't twist it back down again. But it is very black. It's very fine, so like I like to tight line. So this is quite nice for that. I haven't really played with it enough to really test the longevity yet. I don't know what this is like compared to the highliner. Yeah, because this one's called fine liner. I think the other one's called highliner. Kind of want to test that just to see what they're like against each other. But yeah, so that was kind of an extra. I did want to mention this little kit because it was significant, even though I didn't pay for this. This was an add-on when I did that Sephora order for that holiday box. But these are quite significant sized samples, so I'm including them in my budget, but like I didn't pay for them. I think this was an add-on if you were Rouge or maybe NVIB. I'm not sure if it was both. But it's a little Way hair care set. So there is a Way Detox Shampoo, which I'm quite happy that I have this now. So we'll talk about my hair in a minute. A leave-in conditioner, which I don't think I've tried any of these from Way, and I do know that I've tried a lot from Way, and I do like most of their products. The only one I can think of that I'm just like, was the Wave Spray, and I don't even think you can buy the Wave Spray anymore. And then the last thing was this little hair oil. I have been working through a hair oil pretty much all year long. I didn't bother putting it in a project pan because I didn't want to feel pressured to use it, but I've been working on it behind the scenes. Pretty much every time I wash my hair, I use it. So it might be done at the end of this calendar year. If not, it'll be done early next year. And then I'd like to try this. I also have like the Hairdresser's Invisible Oil from Bumble & Bumble, and that's one of my favorites. So we'll see what this is like compared to that. Actually curious to know the smell, if I can smell any of these. Can't smell it. Can't smell anything right now. I know in the past I've liked the smell of their products too. They're very much salon smelling like products. What else did I buy? Too much. It's one of those months. So I also bought Becca products. We all know Becca is now, it's definitely not at Sephora. They've taken it offline at Sephora. I've seen quite a few of the products in Winners and Marshalls. I've seen the bronzer that I bought from Sephora in the shade that I like. So I'm kind of annoyed, but I didn't want to make that risk. I actually also saw one of the little kits with a mini highlighter, but somebody stole the highlighter out of it, and I'm super annoyed by that. But anyway, this is the Becca Backlit Priming Filter. And yeah, I've never tried this before, so I've always wanted to try it. It was like a holy grail product for a lot of people, very much hyped here on YouTube. There it is on the back of my hand. I'm turning the lighting down. I don't know if it's too dark. I can't figure out the lighting today. It feels nice, so that's it on the side of my hand. Not fully rubbed in, but feels nice. Like I'm pretty excited to try it on my face. I just have yet to try it on my face. And I paid $14.99 for this. I don't know exactly how much this cost full price on like Sephora, but the other primer and the other foundation were like $50. So I'm guessing on like the conservative side that this might have been about $45. It could have been $40. I'm not 100% sure in Canada how much that actually cost full price, but definitely more than $15. So I bought two lip products because we know I have a problem. So I finally bought myself one of these. So I put one of these in the giveaway, but I decided to buy one for myself as well. This is in the shade 100 Reach High. I'd been looking at the shade for a while, and then I was in Rexall, and these were on sale for $8.99. So I bought it. That's the shade right there. I love this shade. I'm so glad I bought this. Like, I wish I hadn't held off so long on these. I really like this. I've only tried it once on my lips. But it's very much like a My Lips But Better type color, and it just wears really, really nicely because of that shade. The one thing I've noticed though when I'm swatching on my hand here versus on my face, shades are coming out a bit more purplier on my hand. So I also bought a second one. Did not need to buy this. Slightly regret buying it just because I didn't need it, but I don't regret it because I like the shade. So I already have two others of these, and I know I like this product. This is the Superstay Matte Ink. So this is the ink crayon, and then this is the, they call it ink crayon? Yes, ink crayon, and they call this the matte ink. This is in the shade Seductress. Again, it was a shade that I've been eyeing for quite some time. When I swatch it on my hand, I don't know if it'll show, but when I swatch it on my hand, it kind of looks more mauve. But on my lips, which I have it on my lips today, combined with this on top, it's more pinky peach. And I can't figure out why that is. But that's it on my hand there. Because when I swatched it on my hand, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like that shade on my face. But I do. It's on my face right now. And I like it. It's just a bit more neutral. Like it neutralizes on my face. Whereas I think swatching it, it's a bit more mauve toned. I don't know. I just found that a bit weird. Like when I swatched it, I was like, ugh. And then I swatched this against, I have another shade called Lover. They are different. Lover is much more pink and much more intense in color, and this is much more subtle. So I am glad I bought it, but did I need it? No. I'm trying to finish up lip products, and these are the types of products that I never finish. So I try not to buy too much liquid lipstick stuff, but I'm happy I bought those. They were on sale for $8.99. Normally they retail I think for $12.99, but at my local Shoppers Drug Mart, they're around like 14 something because they jacked the prices downtown Toronto. Thanks, Toronto. Yeah, super annoying. Anyway, so the last thing I want to talk about that I bought was hair color. So I talked about in my project pan, yes, about my hair. So it was a while ago, like I want to say July, I talked about I wanted to dye my hair purple, but must have been August, but I just did highlights, which I regretted. It's like, but I wanted my hair to relax, and then I'll go purple. So near the end of August, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna book an appointment to get my hair done and get it done purple. So I booked an appointment, but I had to book it like 4 weeks in advance, so I didn't go until just like the end of September. They didn't have a choice. Like the only choice they had was to like do full color hair dye, but I guess the appointment I booked, I should have booked more time. There was no option. So it's kind of my fault for not realizing that maybe I should have called and verified, but I just went with like their online options. And anyway, they were like, well, your hair is too dark and there's too much going on, and we're gonna have to strip it and then bleach it and then color it to get the purple you want, which is kind of what I thought was gonna be necessary. I just didn't know that was gonna take more than 2 hours because I never go to a salon. So they were like, well, we'll dye it as purple as we can get it. They kept calling it plum. It's red. It is a red. It's actually very similar, not as deep as the red I went last year. So like this would have been the color I would have loved a year ago. This is where I was going a year ago. And it is a bit patchy, like you can see. I feel like I'm missing color right there. Just kind of drive me crazy. I've already washed my hair once since getting it dyed, and the color is like, it's red. So anybody, if you've dyed your hair red just like rinses out right very quickly. So I know this is gonna fade fairly quickly. So I'm just gonna let it fade for the next maybe 3 to 4 weeks. And I bought the color before, which I should have listened to Ruth the first time around. I just bought this. I even should have done this before I went to hairdressers. So this is something that removes hair color. So it says removes dark tones and color buildup. It's called Color Before Hair Remover. It has no ammonia, no bleach. So it's just supposed to remove the color. It's not supposed to lighten my hair color. We're going to see, after we do that, I'm going to do a strand test with this and see if that's sufficient. If it's not, I'm gonna have to bleach my hair at least a couple levels. Like I don't want to go bleach blonde, but I'm gonna have to lighten my hair. So this is the Garnier Nutrice Ultra Color, and this is in the shade 526 Deep Lilac. Now, the reviews online for this are kind of funny. It's like either really works or does nothing. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. But like, if I can get any of these tones of purple in my hair, I'd be happy. I'd be happy with any of these purples. So we'll see. I mean, this is maybe a little bit, I wouldn't mind going a bit more blue purple than this, but this is close to the purple that I want, and I figure this is a good starting. Let's start with this. This is permanent color, so like the one that I bought last year that I didn't realize, because it says right here, 8 weeks of nourished hair, intense color and shine, even on dark bases. But you have to read the little tiny permanent at the bottom. It's not like the Natural Instincts. Natural Instincts, I think, is one of the only ones that's like semi-permanent that we have here in Ontario. I don't know if there's many others, but I know Natural Instincts is. Anyway, we're gonna give this a go, but not for another 2 to 3 weeks minimum. I want to at least maybe get my hair 3 weeks. I know you're supposed to wait, I think they say 8 to 10 weeks is the ideal before you re-dye it again, but I just want to move on. I mean, this is fine. I'm not mad. And like, they said that, like, they're like, well, we can only do this. And I'm like, you know, it's fine. Like, I was there. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to go away. And she's like, well, your hair's going to be darker and that's going to make it harder to go to like a purple. And I was like, you know what? Just dye it. Like, that's fine. Regardless, you're going to have to lighten it in the future anyway. Or somebody's going to have to lighten it, me or you. So it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that was my big long story of my hair. Like, someday I will have purple hair. I'm going to try it myself. If it really goes bad, then I'll go back to the hairdresser and properly book an appointment and get it done there. I think they also, like, whenever I go in the hairdresser and I do stuff like get it dyed, they look at it and like, oh my gosh, you have a lot of hair. Because that speaks product. They have to use more product on my hair, so that costs them more money. Probably like people with shorter hair. Plus my hair is so not interesting. I'm sure they get so annoyed when I come in because like, oh, she has such a boring haircut. I always feel super uncomfortable at a hairdresser's too. I don't know why. It's like the dentist. Just do your thing and get her done and I'll move on. So, what did I spend this month? A lot. It was pretty good up until like the hair and the lip stuff because I literally bought that like the last couple days of September. So I was under $100. I was like $180 something. But I ended up at $245.28, which was definitely more than I was planning for. The retail value being $436.74. This is the kicker. I brought in 30 items. Now, there was a lot of hair care and skincare. Not a lot of skincare, but some skincare. But mostly makeup. 22 of the items were makeup items. A big chunk of that being the ColourPop haul. So, yeah, that was definitely more than I had intended. My average monthly spend is about $198, so about $200, which is not bad. I wouldn't mind if I was a little less than that. But yeah, it's not too bad. Not the best month, not the worst month, not my most expensive month, not my most items brought in, but second. I think it's my second most expensive month and the second most items that I brought in. So it's a heavy month, a heavy September, which for me is odd because normally September is the time to like recoup and gather before like Sephora VIB, which I don't think I'm planning to really buy much on that anyway, which will likely come up because I'm a rouge. I'll likely have access, I think, at the very end of October. That's usually how it works, like the last couple days in October. I definitely won't be rouge next year. That's fine with me. So, empties. Where are my empties? What have I done with them? Okay, empties time. So, empties, much better this month. I think I had, a total of 5 empties last month? I don't think I can get much worse than that until I have a month where I have 0, which that's, knock on wood, I don't have a month where I have 0, which I don't think would ever happen. Never say never. So let's talk about some of the others. So I do have 2 wallflowers that I finished. Both of these are ones that I bought in that, I think it was like July or whenever I got the haul of like all the Bath & Body Works stuff. This one is in Island Margarita, which I had at my house here in Toronto. And then this is Cotton and Freesia, which I had at the family home. Both of them, like, this one smelled really strong when I first got it, but it definitely, maybe I just got used to it after a while, but it didn't smell as strong as it was like about halfway through. But this was definitely like a good all-around fragrance. It just smells like laundry. It smells like someone's just doing their laundry. So it's an easy fragrance. Like, it's an easy fragrance to buy for people. I think it's an easy fragrance that nobody's going to be offended by it for the most part. And then this one I liked. I really like sort of the coconut kind of scent. Does it say what the scent profile of this is? Sweet mandarin, island mango, and sea salt. So more citrusy, definitely mango-y. It just smells like drink. Doesn't smell like a margarita though. Does not smell like a margarita, but definitely smells like a fruity cocktail, which is quite nice. Quite nice. But we're out of that season now, so I'm luckily. I was gonna have to go because I didn't have any that are like good for this fall. I realized like out of all my Bath & Body Works stuff, I have stuff that's like summery and then stuff that's winter. I don't really have a whole lot of fall stuff. So I did plug in, I have the Vanilla Bean Wallflower that I bought over the summer. And it's straight up like, if you like vanilla scents, like if you like that strong vanilla scent, you would like it. It's definitely that it's almost like a musky vanilla because it's like the intense sort of vanilla scent. So those 2 are done. And then I also have this body wash. I just have this as an other because didn't really include this as a beauty item on my purchases. This is the I Love Glazed Raspberry Scented Body Wash. I think this came in a top box. I was originally saving this for travel. Obviously not happening, so let's just use it up. It was very strong, like very sweet raspberry. I didn't love it. I mean, it's fine as a body wash, but way too intensive as scent for me now. Younger me, like 18-year-old me, would have loved this scent, but 41-year-old me, I was almost gonna say 42. 41, I'm not really into the super sweet scent, so I'm glad that this is finished. I kind of like the size of the bottle, though. I think I might keep this bottle because it is a really good travel size bottle, so it would be good for like just pouring in other body washes, because I'm not sure I have a bottle quite this size. I need to look. That's one of the problems I have, though, is like I said, I'm like, that's a great travel bottle, and I just save it. But then I've probably saved like 3 other bottles that are exactly the same. So I'll find out and save it or not save it, depending on what I've got in my stash. Okay, remaining items. Not a whole lot, but a good lot that I'm happy with. So first thing is I have a sheet mask that I finished up. So again, still kind of working through these. This is the Pearl Essence Mask. These are fine. I'm kind of just moving on from doing sheet masks. I'm trying to use them here and there, but I don't love using sheet masks, I'll just be honest. I finished up some facial wipes. So again, I use these mostly for like swatches. And then if I'm super lazy, I might use this to take my makeup off. But for the most part, it was just for swatches. And these were fine. I got them at like a double set at Winners or Marshalls for $6.99. So they were super affordable because there was like 60 cloths because the other set had 30, this has 30. So I did get wipes in the Spring Luxe box, so I'm just using those now. I wouldn't repurchase those ones specifically. They were okay, but they are what they are. I finished up this little sample. This is the number 7 SOS Rescue Skin Paste. So it says visibly reduces redness. I was trying to use this on my face when I had like a huge, so I got like, I think I've discovered that the rash that I'm getting on my face is not the water at home. I think it's the sun or just like outdoor exposure. So I was camping with some friends at the end of August, beginning of September, and my face just like full on broke out. And I wasn't doing anything. I didn't put anything on my face. I didn't even wash my face. Like I was doing nothing. And my face just full on freaked out. And I think it wasn't even sunny though, but I think just being outside maybe. And I know when I'm at home, especially over the summer, I'm outside a lot more. And this past time I went home, I had really bad weather. It was like cold and rainy, so I didn't spend a lot of time outside. I also didn't wash my face with water though either. And my skin didn't freak out nearly as much as it normally does. So I think my face is allergic to the sun. Which is a problem. I'm gonna have to start investing in like sun hats, I guess. Anyway, I tried using this to help calm my face down. It didn't really do anything, I don't think. I mean, it was a nice thick balm. It doesn't really work well with like other face products. Like I kind of had to make sure all my other face skincare, if I was putting anything on, like my serums and stuff, were really absorbed in, because this was like so thick that it didn't really it just, the texture went really weird with my face. But yeah, I don't think I would purchase this just because I don't really see a huge use for it. I do have an anti-redness cream from something, Avene maybe. I know I've got one, so I don't need to like purchase this. It was okay, but it was very thick. And again, I don't know if it really actually worked for me. I finished up this little toner. This is the I Am From Rice toner. It was fine. I wouldn't repurchase it. I purchased it just out of curiosity to try it. Kind of neither here nor there. I don't think it did anything for my skin, but it wasn't offensive. Like my skin didn't freak out. I was kind of using this in place of, I used to buy the Caudalie toner, the moisturizing toner. They've reformulated that. I'm considering buying the reformulated version just to try it, but I am kind of sad because I really liked the original formula. It worked really well for me as like a hydrating toner. This is not a hydrating toner. It's just like a toner. I don't know if it even has. I think it's supposed to be brightening or something like that. It was fine, but yeah, I wouldn't repurchase it just because it's not exactly what I'm looking for. So the rest of the stuff in here is makeup. So I have 2 primers. I finished a full size and a mini. The full size is this No Problem Prime Essence by Touch and Soul. This was fine. I talked about this in my Project Pan. That's where I finished this. And I talked about, I wouldn't repurchase this. It came in, I think, a BoxyCharm, and it just is a kind of an unnecessary step. This is expensive though. I think it's like between $25 and $30 US. So it's quite a pricey little product. The other primer is this mini Nude by Nature Perfecting Primer. I believe this brand is from Australia. I liked this. This was quite nice. The more I used it, the more I liked it. There might be like an itty bitty little bit left, maybe. I should see. I should try and see if I can get one more use out of this. But I wouldn't go out of my way and purchase this. Again, I'm pretty sure the full size of this is kind of pricey. This was not a bad sample size though. Like this was 15 mils. So it's like, I think the full size is around 30 mils or so. So this was like a half of a full size. So it was a good size sample to really get to know the product. Again, this would be a primer. Like if I were to buy a primer for anybody, I would probably buy this. Like if I didn't know the person, this would be a good all-around primer. I think satisfy a lot of different skin types. I finished up this Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. I don't know exactly when I bought this one, but I've definitely had it open since the spring, and it's not clumping or anything, but it's like I'm at the point where I'm really doing this and I'm not getting the effect on my lashes. Like this usually gives me ba-bam kind of lashes, and after like 2 coats of this, I'm like, where's the mascara? Where is it? It's not on my eyelashes. So it's like, okay, it's time to give her up. I find that like I can stretch these to 6 months, but I really can't stretch them much longer than that. Whereas other mascaras, like I have some where I can use them for like up to a year, and they're not bad. But this, for some reason, really dries out, and I have to repurchase or reuse, like open a new one in about 6 months. So I will repurchase this. I've repurchased this like 6 times now already, like a lot. Maybe not 6 times, but definitely a lot over the past couple of years. And I definitely will repurchase this again. It's not a mascara for everybody, but I like it. I finished up this little eyebrow pencil. Again, I didn't put this in a project because I didn't want to feel pressured to finish it, but I knew I could finish it over time. This is the Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. I want to say this was in like medium brown or something like that. It's all done. It's just like the twist up pencil. If I can get anything. Yeah, no. I like this pencil. I think the shade's maybe a little too light for me. I think I need to look for a deeper shade. If they've got a deeper shade, I would buy this again. The only thing is you kind of fly through these. L'Oreal has one that's pretty good. I think CoverGirl might have one too that I have never tried. I know the L'Oreal like Precise Brow Pencil is really good and I like it. Yeah, I would repurchase this again though if I came across it. I think it was a little pricey here in Canada. I think in the States it's around like $3, but I think I paid like $5 or $6 for this. It was a little bit pricier than I realized compared to the US. But yeah, it's a nice little brow pencil. Very equivalent to like an ABH brow pencil. Like I feel like it lasts really well, looks really good. If you like the fine tip pencils, I think this is definitely one to explore. Again, if you can find a shade that works for you. And my last empty is my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. So if you watch my Project Pan, you would have known that I finished this. Yay! So pretty happy about finishing this. Glad it is done and out of my collection. And just because I want to buy a new one. I shouldn't say it's out of my collection, but this one is, because it was old. Like I've had this definitely for quite some time. I know any product that I don't have a date on, that's not recent because I just haven't put a sticker on it yet, is older than 2018, because for the most part, because I've pretty much put like a sticker with the date that I bought it on everything. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm using some of the older products, and this was one of the older products. So happy to have this done. I love this bronzer, so I definitely will repurchase this. I kind of want to try, like they have that coffee bronzer. It's like there's like a donut one or something else. The coffee one, like it was a cake one. Coffee one is the one that sticks in my mind because that's the one I want to try. I have seen them here. I can't remember which store I saw them in, but I have seen them here in Toronto. So they do exist here, but they're probably like $24. Like this is really expensive. This is like $22.99, I think. So like $23 Canadian if you buy it full price. I usually see it on sale for around like $17. So that's what I'll, eventually pay for this, or I'll get it with points. Oh, the only other thing I don't have here was the little eyeshadow that I'm decluttering. So that would be my one declutter, is that single eyeshadow from Avon that was in my project pan that I, again, I'm done with. She's done. We're over and done with. I'm glad that I tried using it. I tried it like on its own, tried it with other things, tried it on my eyes, tried it on my cheeks. I'm not gonna finish it because it's no good. It's done. So that is my one declutter item. I'll just put a little picture of it on the screen or somewhere, because I hit pan, so I hit my goal, and it's getting decluttered. So from Empties, I did do my math already. Yay me. And I have 9 empties. I have 3 other products. So the value of the empties that I used for what I paid was about $56.77. And then the retail value of the items I used up, so the empties, was $114.52. So not bad. Again, definitely nothing like last month. That was brutal. Last month was, yeah, three empties last month. That was terrible. So back on track. I already know I have at least 1 skincare item that's going to be ready for next month. 2 items I can think of actually that are going to be ready for next month. So we'll definitely have some empties next month. Again, hopefully it will be better than August. I feel like anything can be better than August. So yeah, that's my buys and buys for the month of September. I hope you liked this video. If you did, feel free to give it a little thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you did subscribe to my, gosh, I keep wanting to say that, to my channel here on YouTube. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.